Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to be looking at MLflow's AI Gateway feature. We have already seen prompt management and model management using MLflow, but now we will be looking at how you can manage your LLMs or rather LLM providers in a much more efficient and effective manner. With this AI Gateway, you can create several API keys and you can securely use those API keys within the endpoints, and in endpoints you can have several different providers, several different models. You can also have traffic splitting the way you can see on your screen. I am basically using OpenAI's GPT-4o model and Google Gemini's Gemini 2.5 flash model, and I'm splitting 50% traffic to it. And all of uh, and apart from all of these, you also get one common interface to call these application. If I can show you, so you can see I'm getting this URL which I can use irrespective or without knowing how the internals of Gemini or OpenAI's calling work. Okay, so I feel this is much more powerful than individually coding the wrappers, or maybe you using the wrappers providers SDK in your code. Okay, so if you want to if you are excited about this video, then please continue. Okay, thank you so much. So first of all, let us quickly set up our virtual environment. So I will create a virtual environment really quickly using the Vent package. And after this, let's activate this virtual environment. After activating this, I would like to install the MLflow package. Now I want to install this package with GenAI extension. So I will specify that. Okay, it will take some time, although I did install it previously, so it will be using mostly the cached versions of the packages. So let it complete. Meanwhile, what we want to do is we want to set up two different models from two different providers into the API gateway. So let's arrange the API keys for that. For one of the projects, I am going to be using the OpenAI, and another one I will be using the Gemini's API key. For Gemini API key, AI Studio is a great source, and from there you can get API keys for free without even giving your credit cards. So I will come here on the bottom left and I'll click on Get API key, and I can click on Create API key. I need to select a project. You can select any project or you can create a project. It's free of cost. And then I will hit on the Create API key. After that, I'll just copy this key, and for now, let me save it in a text file. Okay, API keys dot maybe text. Okay, so this is my Gemini's API key, and then there is one more API key for my OpenAI model. Okay, so now that we have the packages installed and API keys set up, now we want to start the MLflow server, because that's where we are going to be creating endpoints and API key. I'll tell you what endpoints are in a moment. So I'll do MLflow server, and I'll specify the port. I'll specify 5000 or any port which is not in use. Currently for me, 5000 is not in use. So you want to make sure that 5000 is something that you can possibly use. So let us wait for the server to spin up. It will create a database file, because currently I'm on my local environment. The database file will be created here. So you see this mlflow.db file. So this is a simple SQLite database which will be used by MLflow. Now after this, I want to basically navigate to my browser, and I want to go to this URL called 127, which is called home, and at this route. If I hit enter, you will see this interface. If you navigate to experiments, models, all these things are just empty. But we want to go to AI Gateway here. Now, currently MLflow is developing this feature so it's not I would say matured, but two features which I personally have used is the managing API keys and endpoints. Now, how do they work? I'll tell you. So endpoints is, you can say, a centralized place where you can have multiple model LLM providers which you can register, and you can split your traffic between those, and in this manner you can do pretty cool things like looking at which model is performing best for your use case. Okay, so I'll show you how to create endpoints, but let me first show you how to register API keys. So I will be registering two API keys. So let me create first API key first. So it is loading provider. So let's create a API key for OpenAI. I'll say my API key OpenAI. So you might be having a situation where you are into in a large organization where multiple different API keys exist within OpenAI. So you can manage all those sort of things here. So let me grab my OpenAI's API key here, and then come here and I'll just paste it. Now I don't need to provide a base URL, so I'll just create API key. Now I will come here again, and this time I'll use Gemini, and here I'll say my API key Gemini, and I'll grab my Gemini key that we grabbed from the AI Studio, and I'll paste here and create API key. So now we have got these two API keys which we can use and load. So there are interesting things that you can do in your Python script, so it's like your you can say .env file. Now you no longer need to load from .env, you can load from here also. Although I know it's not a very exciting use case, but let's go to endpoints and you will see where AI gateway, MLflow's AI gateway can shine. So I will come here and create an endpoint. So I need to basically um, specify the name of the endpoint. Now you can think of endpoint as a container. Now, by any chance, if you have worked with Azure endpoints, real-time endpoints, or maybe SageMaker endpoints, you would understand what I'm trying to say here. Endpoints are a way to have different models deployed within the endpoints, and here AI gateway's endpoint is very similar to that. Under one endpoint you can have several different LLM models, and it's just a wrapper. But the nice thing is that now that we have got thousands of LLM models, you don't have to manage you can say the interface between all those different LLM providers. You can remember and recall only one interface, and that is MLflow's interface, and you can just forget about it. Now you might be wondering, like, there are other wrappers also available. For example, LangChain also provides such kind of functionality. You would want to answer this question, that why MLflow? Now, to this question, I would probably say that MLflow has certain other features, for example, experimentation, prompt management, model management, which your other tool might not be having. So it can be integrated into your AI experimentation and prompt evaluation and all workflows quite neatly. So that is one of the plus point of this tool over others. Okay, so every tool has their merits and demerits, and we can create a separate video covering that only. So when I provide the endpoint's name, why do I have to provide model? Because you can't have an empty endpoint. You need to provide at least one model. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll say let's say uh, my chatbot endpoint. I'll say chatbot endpoint. Okay, now this chatbot endpoint can have multiple models. Okay, now let's start with OpenAI's model. So I'll say OpenAI. Now here in the models, I need to select which model I will be using. I'll be using one of the cheapest models. So I'll come here. 4o Mini is the one that I feel at this moment is the most cost like friendly in terms of. So and you not only get model names but also what features they support, like GPT-4o Mini supports tools, caching and structured outputs, and it has maximum input token of 128k, and it has cost and input and output tokens costing. So you can see you have got $0.15 for per million input token and 0.6 dollar for per million output tokens. So I will select this GPT-4o mini. Now I can create a new API key or use an existing one. Okay, so since I already have a API key, so I can select that one. So I will automatically it will display only the OpenAI's API key. And you might recall that we created two API keys, but Gemini one are not being displayed here. So I'll select this, and now I can go ahead and create this. So it does certain things like it will mask your API key so that those will not be displayed here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create this. The moment I create this, now if I go inside the endpoint, I'll get this chatbot endpoint, and if I open this, you see there is this thing called priority. Now what is this priority? Now priority lists down all the models that you want to basically use. Okay, so currently this priority has only one model, and there is one more priority, and this priority is basically a fallback. Suppose you have two your API keys expire, or maybe because of rate limiting, a given endpoint, a given model fails. So in that case your priority 2 will be executed. You can add a fallback, and the process of adding fallback is just like previous. Now within the priority one, I can have a traffic splitting. So let's do one thing. Let's create one more model within this first one, and here in the in the model 2, what I'll do is I'll select this time Gemini, and here let's use Gemini's 2.5 flash, and we have got costing here as well. So I'll just and here the maximum input tokens are massive. 1 million input tokens we can have. I've selected, I can use the existing API key, and I can use this Gemini's API key, and I can also specify the weight. Weight would mean that how much traffic splitting I want to do. Now MLflow will handle all the load balancing between these two models. Okay, so what I can do is I can have something like I want my 50% of the traffic to go here, and I want 50% traffic to be basically handled by OpenAI's model. Now here you can think of this from a very broader perspective. If you want to evaluate a given model in a real production scenario, you can possibly have a setup where you want to evaluate each and every output, and in fact you can connect this directly with your experimentation. And in experimentation, what you can do is you can tie these you can add tags to each run, each trace, and that tag would tell you which basically model was used to generate this output, and then you can basically evaluate which of the model is being is correctly giving you the output. So now what we can do is we can simply save these changes. Okay, so now our endpoint is ready. Now we have got two providers here, and also we have got two providers, and we have got use by, and all these tags are there. But what I want to do is I want to use this model, right? How can I use it? So I can come here on the top right, and I can click on this use. So MLflow is providing you with this URL. Since currently my server is running on this one on locally, so I'm getting this URL /gateway and then name of my endpoint. This is the name, MLflow invocation. Now you see I am not interfacing with OpenAI or Gemini anymore. Now I am interfacing with directly the MLflow's URL, and that URL when I hit, it will take care of calling the appropriate model. Okay, let's copy this, and let's come here to the terminal, and let's open a new terminal. So what I'll do is I'll just paste the curl request curl command here, and I'll try to hit enter. I'll wait for some time, and it should give me the response, and it is giving me the response. If you see, uh, it used Gemini model. It is telling you that it used Gemini model. Why it used Gemini model, I'm not sure. Let's run this query again. this time it's used GPT-4 Omni. You see this? When we use Gemini's 2.5 Flash, we were getting hello, I'm doing well, this, and then here I'm getting hello, I'm just a program, and blah blah blah. Okay, so you get this point. The only interface that I have to remember is this, and the ML flow is going to take care of the traffic routing for you. Okay, all right, so I think that would be it for this video. But what I would like you to do is you can do pretty interesting thing in your production application. If you are using MLflow heavily, you can add fallbacks. Obviously, if let's say both of these models fail, then which model? So in production, you don't want a user to hang in between your requests. So you would want a fallback mechanism with which those models can be called. Now, two important features which are not yet there are called usage tracking and rate limiting. These two features will be coming soon, and I will be covering these also when they as soon as they arrive. So in this video, I just wanted to showcase how you can use ML Flow's AI gateway feature, and how you can create APIs and how you can create endpoints and split your traffic between those. Okay, so okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have any feedback, please do give me that feedback. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.